Welcome to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast with your host, Brandon Seigel. I'm a published author, speaker, entrepreneur, and private practice strategist dedicated to transforming the way that healthcare functions. This podcast is all about empowering you to create the change you want to see. Let's dive in. Welcome back to our quick tip episode of the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. I so appreciate you joining in. Today we're talking about why private practice owners suffer from paralysis by analysis. Now, I get this all the time. At the end of the day, I tell you what to measure. I tell you how to measure it. I give you perspective. You get overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know what to do. And the problem is we got to put one foot in front of the other. So I'm not here to overwhelm you. I'm here to discuss why we're getting stuck, how to get unstuck, and the way that we shape our analysis process to see change in gradients. So private practice owners often get stuck because they have too much data to review. I see it all the time, like it's like 100 different metrics and this and that. And we're like, I don't even know. So every time you measure a metric, I want you to do the following. Why am I measuring it? How often do I need to measure it? And what am I going to do based on that? So I'll give you an example. One of the KPIs that some practices do that I hate, and it's just a personal thing. I hate it. It doesn't mean you have to hate it, but I hate it. And it's the number of phone calls per day that the receptionist opens. And you're measuring it. I'm like, well, okay, or has. So if that receptionist has, every day they're looking at it, like, oh, we only had 150 calls today. We had 100 yesterday. So a difference of 50 phone calls. All right, what are you going to do? You're going to go out and start marketing over a differential of phone calls? Like, at the end of the day, I don't understand. That's like the number one most useless statistic in my opinion. Now, there are people out there recommending it, so they're going to disagree and they're going to say, oh, it's about marketing. It's about knowing if we need to do marketing. I go, marketing is about effectiveness of closing patients, not about the quantity of phone calls. The quantity of inquiries, the quantity of phone calls. I'd rather have 5 phone calls and close 5 phone calls than 50 phone calls and close 5 phone calls. Now, some of you will say, I'd rather have 50 phone calls and close 50 phone calls, but you got to come up with what that target is. But the idea is what is your closing rate? And so we're getting stuck because you have too much data. You're measuring too much. You don't understand what to measure and the frequency of measure. So you measure it every day, and I'm like, you're too close. Those of you that are measuring day to day, you have to be willing to make changes day to day. You're like this. You're like, oh my gosh. So what I do is I measure daily average on a monthly basis. That allows me to see a trend per day and measure month over month changes. But if I measured each day, like, oh, we had 2 cancellations today, we had 10 cancellations tomorrow, like, I'll be honest with you, you're too close to it. So strategically, you can look forward to say, hey, these are how many appointments we should reschedule or whatnot. But don't get stuck too close. You're not sure how to utilize the data. That's one of the things is we're not putting it into practical terms. When this happens, I do this. The other thing I'm seeing is you're getting stuck because the data is not relevant. This business in a box. You go out, you pay for all this money for these consulting firms that tell you, I'm going to build a $10 million a year business, all cash pay. You drop $100,000 and you're stuck for 10 years doing the same thing, making no money. Stop thinking that someone has the perfect solution for you. I am a big believer that every single business is a unique business algorithm. And so even a franchise model. I came from family that created the franchise model. They're just providing you resources and logistics to operate, but they're not able to create the same custom KPIs, accountability on each measure because the market's different. What I do in Beverly Hills is going to be different than Panorama City. That's going to be different than Austin, Texas. That's going to be different than Leander, Texas. That's going to be different than Tampa Bay, Florida. Like, we got to look and take data and then apply it to a realistic custom algorithm. So the info that we're getting is not structured to drive action. It's structured to either acknowledge or structured to make us feel bad. I want action. So we had 10 cancellations more this month than last month. Why and what do we do about it? So imagine if your data was structured like 2025 Lego instructions. And I say it this way. Those of you that are in your 40s like me or more, our Lego instructions back in the day were not as good as today. But I can build any Lego today because the Lego instructions today, in my opinion, they're idiot proof. I'm just being honest. They are incredible. So imagine if all of your data was structured like Lego instructions. Take the green block and put it with the red block. When that goes like this, you do that. How much more could you get done? This includes identifying clearly all the ingredients to get measured, illustration of all the ingredients, each step clearly defined with applicable instructions, illustrations, and ingredients utilized for that step, and the final product for assembly. The more that we can visualize the relationship between data and action, the more efficient we can become in validation or change management. Simple. I want you to utilize your metrics not just as a measure of what's going on, but having a direction of what must occur to change the trajectory of that metric. For the past 20 years, I've had the privilege of helping pediatric occupational, physical, and speech therapists redefine the way that their business functions and helping them tap into their entrepreneurial spirit. In recent years, I recognized a deficit, which was bringing private practice owners together with the vision of allowing them to connect, learn, and grow. And Growth Code Conference was born. From sunrise to sunset, we offer an opportunity for pediatric, occupational, physical, speech therapy private practice leaders and owners to connect, collaborate, learn, grow. From yoga to breakfast to lunch to coffee carts and more. We take you to another world where you are inspired, where you feel empowered, and where you are able to grow to the next level so that we all can change the world one child at a time. 5 strategies to overcoming paralysis by analysis. 1, I want you to set clear goals. I keep saying it, and priorities. Goals and priorities go hand in hand. Don't just say, I want 10 more clients a day. I need 10 more clients a day. It is my highest priority, and it must be done in 30 days. Clear objectives, narrow focus, reduce the temptation to overanalyze irrelevant details. Define it with specific, measurable goals. I am going to increase patient retention by 10% in 6 months. Use your framework, SMART goals. Break those goals into smaller, actionable steps. Stop trying to move a mountain overnight. Limit your information overload. Too much data or research can cloud judgment and delay decisions. And why this happens is you're trying to do 2 things. When I see information overload, you're trying to keep your boat from sinking and drowning, and you're trying to build a multi-million-dollar yacht at the same time. Make your boat float. Make your boat move. Increase the speed of your boat. Expand your boat's capability. Make that boat work easier. All those things, like I just want you to make it a little bit easier for yourself because we need to set boundaries on research time. We need to identify 2 to 3 reliable sources of information. Don't trust Facebook. Stop listening. I have found more practices get in trouble because they say Facebook told me to do it. Stop it. If you're learning compliance from Facebook, you deserve to be locked up. Take a course, hire a consultant, stop listening to other practice owners who are saying, well, I do it this way. Get to the root of the data. Research your contracts, hire an attorney, invest in true data, and you will win this game. Invest in chatter, and you will lose. Use tools like decision metrics to evaluate options quickly. You got to really reevaluate how you're processing data, the validity of the data. I also need you to adopt a good enough mindset. That good enough mindset. I have this problem, so I have to measure myself in what is perfection versus what is good enough, and I need to see good enough as perfection. That has to be my intention. The good enough goal is perfection to me, because perfectionism fuels overanalysis. Accepting good enough solutions encourage action. Embrace the 80-20 Pareto principle. 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. Set a deadline for decisions. Commit to action, even if the solution isn't perfect. I just met with a practice the other day, and I basically said, for 2 years, you've been going back and forth in what you need to do. Stop evaluating, start doing. Name one goal, name your commitment, make it happen. Reflect on past successes where imperfect decisions still yielded positive outcomes. Simple. 4, I want you to break out decisions into smaller steps. Why it helps? It's important because large decisions can feel daunting. They lead to procrastination. Smaller steps make it manageable. I come back to 1 foot in front of the other. Divide your big decisions. Example, launch a new service into phases. Research, planning, execution. Focus on 1 step at a time and build that momentum. What's important is you got to celebrate the small wins. It's so crucial. So if you're not celebrating those wins, you're not going to be able to see that progress. You're going to give up. And number 5 for overcoming paralysis by analysis, use time blocking. I do this all the time. I set up all my time in ways where the decision making is required. I must produce a decision on this by this date and time. It helps because allocating space and specific time will prevent endless deliberation. So I want you to schedule short, focused periods to evaluate options. I want you to use a timer to stay disciplined. I want you to avoid that overthinking. And after the time is up, make a decision. Make a decision. Plain and simple. In 2022, a McKinsey survey revealed that 45% of small business owners, including private practice owners, delayed decisions due to overanalysis, and that led to a 10% slower growth rate. So by speeding up your decisions, having accountability, having the data you need, you can increase smart growth, in my opinion. So Pablo Picasso said it best. Action is the foundational key to all success. Thank you for tuning in to this quick tip episode of the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. Don't forget, together we can thrive, not just survive. Thank you for tuning in to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of you. Exciting news. We're now available everywhere, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to YouTube or anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts. So watch, listen, and reach out. If you love this episode, please drop a 5-star review. It truly means the world to me. Are you looking for more ways to elevate your practice? If so, now is your chance. Reach out, go to my website, or email me at brandon@wellnessworksmp.com. And remember, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.